Sometimes in life we just suffer. Sometimes it's from being totally withdrawn, or so much stress that we are totally anxious, or so tired that we are totally burnt out. But our current position is not our final destination. No, indeed. There's hope. So whether it's your personal life, your career, your relationship, your business, or your job, we say there's reason to believe again. And we present from Andy's personal development, the breakout room. It's the place for health, happiness, prosperity. Stay tuned for more.
This edition of the Breakout Room, we are live and we have an amazing guest to share with you on this episode, which is entitled Seven Steps to Live a Fulfilled Life with Mukesh Bajaj. And we're going to get into his story and his contributions that he has been making and the impact that he's been making with regards to his expertise and his core competencies in just one moment. But first of all, I need to introduce you properly to our guest. So he is known as a visionary, purpose driven author, financial freedom and fulfillment coach. He is the purpose driven founder of Next Zen Accounting and a lead fulfillment coach with over 20 years of experience across various industries. In 2011, Mukesh started his own accounting company to address three significant issues in the industry: the high failure rate of standalone small and medium businesses, the lack of wealth or cash flow for business owners at retirement age, and the focus of accountants on compliance and reporting instead of proactively guiding business owners to create sustainable and profitable businesses. There is so much more. But we'll invite him to tell his story right here live in the breakout room. Let's present to you our guest, Mukesh Bajaj. How are you?
Thank you, Andy. I'm very excited. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being with us. My beeper is just going off there. So, Mukesh, I just want to immediately thank you for taking the time to be with us here live on the breakout room. And I want to dive right into your background. There's something fascinating I'm seeing here. You said in your younger years, you had what many would call an ideal life. Your parents were very supportive. They give you all the love and the freedom you could ever want, supporting your dreams and providing you with endless opportunities. But you oftentimes felt lost. And it was a situation that, despite all the options and the supportive environment you had, happiness was lacking. Could you describe that moment in your life for us, please?
I'll take you even back and share with my story in and even multiple those moments. So I'll take
Yeah.
you back. I was born in a very small town in India, and as you mentioned, my parents were loving and supporting. I had everything in my life what I could wish that time in my childhood. And then we one day, my father uh, was a franchisee of a successful logistics company.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so the money was good. And one day, this franchisor sibling had a conflict, and then they decided to shut down the business.
Right.
It meant that my father, my family had no income, no business
Mm-hmm.
from and my father tried very hard to find a similar size business, but he couldn't find any. And then one of my uncles suggested to start their own franchise, the logistics company, and that's what they did. But they didn't realize that with that this new business needed different skill set, different mindset, and the capital which my dad didn't have. And so he was behind paying wages so much. He was, he had to borrow money from his family, his relatives, to keep the business going one day at a time. He was
Yeah.
stuck. He couldn't see a path, and
Mm-hmm.
that sent my mom into mindset of scarcity and anxiety, which was the reflection of how she was brought up in an environment
Hmm.
where she was, brought up with her seven sisters. And so then, on that time, I couldn't do much. I was also working as a lost young man, and I was anxious, I was jealous, I was with the scarcity mindset that time. One of my then friend encouraged me to come to Australia, and I then came to Australia, started my studying, masters in accounting. And my you know as needless to say, my family didn't have money, so they mortgaged their home. I was then, I was working in restaurants to pay the bills, in Australia. And after completing masters in CPA, I started my own accounting company. And then my clients connected with me because I felt their pain. It was very similar that pain I witnessed with my father, my mom, and firsthand. So I was growing, and in first few years, like uh, we grown, we solved our clients those three problems that I started with in 2011, in first few years. And here I'm still unfulfilled, and I'm still feeling stuck. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I see I want to do something bigger, and then I'm focusing on my current business. And sometime, when we grow, if we sign few clients in, then I focus on that, and then uh, I lose my sight on what what I wanted to do. And this, between this to and fro between my present and future, I always felt unfulfilled. And 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 then I was, at one day, I took a pause, I reflect on my life. I didn't want to feel like my dad, who spent his life in that business, being unfulfilled, my mom with that mindset of scarcity and anxiety. I just took a pause. I invited a couple of my team members. We locked ourselves into a conference room from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., Monday to Saturday, for 3 months. And that was the most intense process. I came up, we used to do whiteboard scribbles. And those scribbles, and then those brainstorming, and that became our value system.
Hmm.
After 3 months, and I've been, then after, it's still incomplete. That what we had, still incomplete. I was practicing those what we did. And then by reading, listening to the podcast, learning from thought leaders around the globe, I found this world serving.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
that was a moment.
Right.
Kept asking myself what serving meant for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then it it led me to find my own values, my core purpose. In that realization, I found my fulfillment is in fulfilling other people, getting them unstuck, helping them achieve what they want to achieve.
Yeah.
I spent my whole life being stuck, confused, lost, jealous, anxious, with scarcity mindset. And this is the time when I said, wow, this was the moment that my life changed. I changed myself from a headless chicken to a fulfilled human being.
Yeah, yeah. Wonderful. You have a really fascinating story there, Mukesh. And most of all, thank you for being vulnerable and just being honest and raw and passionate about your family experience. It seems as though that has basically set the foundation for how you achieve your success. And you said you listened to a lot of world leaders, great men who would have gone through maybe similar or different experiences, but certainly would have been putting out their stuff out there that impacted upon you. And you found solace in the word serving. Is there any one particular leader that stood out to you, or was it a combination of leaders that made that impact upon your life for that aha moment?
I would, many
Yeah,
people,
yeah,
many
yeah.
creators, I will, whatever I'm doing, I will contribute, I'm able to contribute because of the creators, the
Hmm.
writers,
Hmm.
the people who created internet, people who
Yeah,
created this podcasting, people who
yeah.
created anything that has helped me so that we could share this message with other people, the community, so that they could feel that they could create a life which is fulfilled, which is uh, which is a life that they want to live and help other people in living a
Mhm.
good life. So yeah, yeah, I learned from many people.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. So let's talk a bit about the book. And it says 7 Steps to Live a Fulfilled Life. How did you come up with the title for the book?
So the title is very finding title was very simple because this
Uh
helped
huh.
me in my life and I'm living a fulfilled life. Okay, and
All right.
then the steps, which is 7 steps. So I said, wow, that's just 7 steps to a fulfilled life. That was the title, and yeah, and the subtitle is never feel lost or stuck again. This has been my life that I've been always lost and stuck. Even I had the best childhood I could ever dream. My parents gave me all the freedom, and I can't complain in my life about anything. Honestly, this is why the step one of the 7 step is being celebrate and be grateful. So yeah, I have everything in my life, and just I want to share that so that people who are missing something and they and by sharing my life, my story, my the process I've discovered, um, and yeah, so that might help people get unstuck and live a fulfilled life. Yeah.
Yeah. So we appreciate and we applaud you for that, Mukesh. Before we get into the 7 steps, what inspired you to come up with the cover?
The cover you know I've reviewed many, like with my team,
Hmm.
my family, um, everyone, and this gives that uh, colors, um, and just sharing that around a globe,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
the
yeah,
life, the journey. Even you could see the big picture from the top, but when you go deep in the book, you
yeah,
find the details. So it's a zoom in, zoom out view, and it's only 7 steps. It's that simple and easy, full of stories, full of life, has a sequence. It's a combination of the learning and entertaining.
yeah.
Uh, it's a combination of big picture and the detail.
Mm,
Combination of heart and head.
right.
It's a combination of thinking and implementation.
Hmm.
So yeah, I this is why this cover, the colors, the everything just I you know we
Yeah.
love.
All right. I get you. I get you. So, among the seven steps that you wrote in the book, is there one that stands out more, or you prefer that that one be the more profound one in terms of the impact that you want to have on people when they read the publication?
See, every step itself is a story, and the implementable has a outcome in that. However, the idea of writing seven steps to a fulfilled life is about completion. It's about start,
Mm, yes.
about
Yes.
knowing the whole piece, not the one piece of puzzle. We see, like, I want to acknowledge here that I'm not sharing anything new.
Uh
What
huh.
I'm sharing is my version of, and a sequence of things which help me day in day out with my life, and the people who are in my life, my team, my family, my clients. And just when you complete step one to step seven, that is the power in this system. Um, so yeah, so it's, I would say, like, one eye is important, one hand is important, one leg is important, but when you see combine this whole thing into a body, that is the magic.
Mm,
Every
yes.
part is important. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I love that. Thank you, Mukesh. We appreciate that. We appreciate you. What has been the response that you have been getting from people who have read the book, including your clients? What is the feedback that they're giving you with regards to the seven steps?
See, my book is launching on 6th of November, so people haven't read the whole book, but with the
Oh,
seven steps,
you haven't had anyone do a pre-read as yet thus far of some of your clients or family? Yeah, yeah,
we did
yeah,
that. So the pre
yeah.
pre read, I've been like taking feedback for the last 7 years. It's not,
Exactly, exactly. Yeah.
and
Okay,
that's the
great,
result
wonderful.
where we are. And I'll share that the, there's so many proud moments, so many wins, but I share one, the real impact, very recent one. One of my new client, and we were talking, and she wanted to quit the business. She's 20
Mm,
years experience. She's so much knowledge.
yeah,
She wanted to quit because she was working long hours, same routine, taking all the accountabilities on her head, was totally
yeah,
burned out.
right.
And with that conversation, and when I share seven step system and book with her, and then we we talked about, we rediscovered the direction and purpose, that what she wants to do, and how we can have both, a financial freedom and a fulfilled life. And that's the how I'm using the system for my clients, personally. However, the system is universal, which I
Hmm.
use in my life and in every small to big decisions I make, that can be used in any situation. And that was the by sharing that system with her, implementing that system with her, then she found the solution. She found a new business partner, and then she, brought her into that business. She got time for herself now, and she now rediscovered that we talked about, 30 sales, or her win, and now she's just enjoying her life as well as business. And it's great that she didn't quit, she didn't close the business. And when you look at, it's a stat which when we were starting the accounting company, we said first 20% businesses fail in first year, and 40%
Hmm.
3 years, and
Yeah,
50% was 5 years. That one of the reasons now we're finding is they burned out.
yeah, Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
lack of resources or information. It's people get burnt out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That is sad and certainly challenging, Mukesh. In terms of your ideal interpretation or idea of the fulfilled life, how would you describe it from your perspective?
See, fulfilled life to me means practicing my values, happiness, freedom, and win-win, and having a purpose which is bigger than me.
Yeah.
And I found my fulfillment in helping people get unstuck,
Mhm.
find the path, and find their own fulfillment. And you can break this fulfillment into objectively into six elements, which is the brand,
Yes.
mind, time,
Hmm.
skill, health, and experience. So
Right.
this is a holistic fulfillment. When you look at brand, here is not a logo. Brand here is what you stand for. What do
Hmm.
you to What's your values and purpose are?
Yeah.
What you want to be remembered for in your life. So that's the brand we're talking here. And when you take yourself, um, and that's one area of your life which is the sixth element for you. But then you take five life circles, which is you, your family, your business, colleagues, employment. Number third, number fourth is your um, friends and community, and number fifth is your spiritual, non-spiritual life circle. So when you combine that six rows, five columns, that becomes 30,
Yeah.
37.
Yeah.
When you're self-aware, when you know what you want in your life, and those 30 boxes, they they create your fulfillment. When you want to go deep in, as I say, it's a zoom out, zoom in view. When you say zoom out, your values and your purpose. But when you zoom in, you can see, okay, where do I want to spend my 168 hours of a week, right? How much money do I
Hmm.
want?
Yeah. Yeah.
What kind of experiences do I want to collect for myself, for my family, with my kid, with my parents, with my friends, with community? So that's what fulfillment means to me, when you know that and be able to achieve that for yourself, for your loved ones, for your community.
Yeah. Wonderful. I love it. Thank you for sharing. You have an unusual commitment to 15,100. And I'm wondering, why is that number so specific and obviously important to you with regards to the people that you like to serve, Mukesh? How did you arrive at that?
When I was choosing this number, I knew that this question will come. I chose this number very thoughtfully, Andy. It's like how do I achieve? See, my vision. I take back my vision is having every human being creating financial freedom and a fulfilled life. So these are two. I said money is a part of six elements. So financial freedom. When I see money is a financial freedom and a fulfilled life, which is the five other element. Now, actively, if I could coach in my life 100 people actively that I'm working with them, and those 100, then they are working actively with 100 more people, so that gives us 10,000 people actively working, where I am giving my time on that journey with them, 10,000 people. Plus we wanted to acknowledge that life circle of these 10,000 people, like their friends, the community, um, the family, and most importantly our parents, because we have forgotten our obligation to our parents, that with our other responsibilities, creating career, looking after our kids, but we forgotten, you know that we owe to our parents. Again, at least
Mm,
me, I owe to my parents, because
yeah,
whatever I
yeah.
am, I wouldn't be here if I didn't get that freedom from them. um,
Hmm. Yeah.
so that brings the total to 15,100, that where we are actively working in my life. I'll be very happy if I'm, and if I even, it will let touch so many other people, but actively 15,100. Even if I die tomorrow
Uh huh.
without completing this mission, I'm not regretting at all. I'm dying fulfilled because I was doing everything I could in my life so that I could reach out to the people who I could share this, and so that they could live while they're here, while they're I couldn't do this with my father, and it
Hmm.
sudden that he passed away. But now I don't want to have that feeling again. I want to be sharing this message, and I'm grateful for people like Andy, you, and so many other people who
Yeah.
helping me, um, so that I could die peacefully even tomorrow or even next moment.
Hmm. Wow. You are so open about the reality of this. And that fascinates me because many people tend to shy away from that. They think that, oh man, I need so much time. I have to do this, I have to do that. And time is not something that you can control, but what you can control is how you invest yourself in the time. So we appreciate that mathematical equation. And if you get any more than that, it's a bonus. I get
Yes.
it. I understand. Thank you, Mukesh. So tell us a bit about the company that you started and what's the main focus, the main purpose of Next Zen? What are you looking to do as an impact on businesses and business people as a whole?
Um, when I started, as I mentioned in 2011, that vision was, helping people create a profitable and sustainable business so that they
Yeah.
don't retire with no money. And then again, because I saw my father, he lived his life with, he couldn't create a financial freedom from there. He was, he was stuck. I could see that. So that was my first
Hmm.
uh, inspiration, that okay, I want to look after my business clients from that. Now I want to, my vision is same for my any other person and my client. My client means, but the difference between client and other people is that with client I'm actively working, and that's the only difference. But my way of sharing the message is the same. Is the same for your audience, it's same for my client. My message is, how can I help you achieve financial freedom and a fulfilled life by using the 7 steps fulfillment system. Now, I've chosen two outcome for that because I cannot specialize in everything.
Yeah.
The system which helps us, it gives us a big picture foundation. It shows the direction. However, to now implement and achieve a outcome like financial freedom and a fulfilled life for a business owner using this system, I will, you know, I'll be working actively. I'm working now as well. Like last 11 years, 12 years, I'm working with small business owners, and I want to be with small business owners. My whole life is with small business owners. Even I'm growing, but but the systems and everything is created to make their life easier, and so that they get a good start, clear direction. They don't have to spend 14 years to get where I am. They can get in 14 minutes that mindset, and then they can build that and achieve financial freedom and fulfillment for themselves faster, and then for their team members, their community, their family, and share this, so that this way it becomes a ripple effect. And how we
Hmm.
do that
Yeah.
is, as a process, is like, now I help business owners to understand the framework, which is a universal framework, and it works in their service delivery as well, how they look after their client. And then we look into the second step, is helping them understand what do they want from their life, with our 30 steps framework. So uh, then they know, okay, this is how my financial freedom looks like. This is how much I want. This is how I spend my time. I want to spend my time that 168 hours a week, or and how many holidays they want, or everything that we you know we we plan, and then we help them as a guide to with the accountability meetings, the scorecards, so that it's vision. Now how we implement that, how we achieve that, what you vision in accounting way. We do the same system, same philosophy, same process. The terminology changes. In that case, we focus more on like looking at the business goals compared to the life goals. So the business goal, then you look at in the business what you want to achieve, what revenue, what profitability, what cost of sales, how much tax you want to be contributing to the community, and what how much cash flow do you want. So we go in that deep, and then having a CFO guide helping you to achieve that numbers, the money and the business, so that it's sustainable. So yeah, so that's the overall picture, that starting from the life, what you want, then helping with the business. Okay, how you can achieve that to the business. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing, Mukesh. I'm listening to the focus on a system and getting people to buy into the system and to trust the system. How do you get them to have the right frame of mind if they need it, if it's necessary, with regards to the mindset? Because now they are getting involved into something that is new coming from your company, your organization to them, as opposed to probably what they had learned before from the wider business world or the business community. Are you seeing any challenges with these small business people in particular, where you have to help them also to change their mindset towards how they're going to adapt to this new approach that's coming from your company?
See, I wouldn't say anything. I'm not sharing anything new. Number
Uh
one.
huh. Uh
Number
huh.
two, I'm not asking any change. I'm not
Right.
asking any change. I'm
Okay.
not asking people to change anything. I'm
Okay.
just sharing that this process you already know.
Mm hmm.
It's just a sequence that maybe sometime, um, uh,
Ah,
and sometimes we don't have environment to practice that. Sometimes we don't have tools to practice that.
right.
Sometimes we don't have templates to practice that.
Mm hmm.
Um, and just you know and it's a combination of mindset as well as implementation within the system, so it's a complete system. So you start here, and step one is celebrate and be grateful. So
Mm
when
hmm.
we talk about mindset, it's nothing new. Everyone's knows that, and this is
Okay.
about universal principles. It
Right.
doesn't change. It doesn't change with my mood. It
Yeah.
doesn't change how I feel today and how I feel tomorrow. Like Stephen Covey mentioned, that principles do not run away.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely correct. That's correct. Absolutely correct. Wow.
They're there.
Yeah. So, in terms of mentoring and mentorship, I suppose the more professional term would be coach. Do you have someone that still unbiased, non-judgmental voice or person that helps you along in your decisions, both in business and in life, as far as how you put together the people that are around you? Is there this one mentor or coach that you rely on to help you clarify and maintain the focus of the process, and at the same time look forward to the future?
I learned from many coaches. I learned from
Uh-huh.
many coaches. I have a coach for everything.
Yeah.
Right now, coach for
I
everything.
love that.
Yeah,
Yes.
and my team is my coach. My family is my coach. My coaches are my coach. Even if I see, I acknowledge one thing here as well. I'm not a speaker. I'm not a author. I'm not a good a podcasting guest or anyone. I'm nothing. What I'm doing here is I'm focusing on the purpose that I want to do, and I'm learning every day which is aligned with that purpose. And why I'm doing it only for reason is that people outside, they don't, because of my flaws, they don't see the flow in that process that I'm sharing. I'm confident in that process. My speaking, my podcast guesting, and my writing will improve years later. Years. I didn't want to wait another 10 years to be polished person. And this is what I want to share, that don't just see me unprepared and flaws in me, and miss that the the treasure which I found, which I'm sharing. Power is in that 7 steps, not in me. I'm nothing. And I'm able to be here because I'm following, I'm using, I'm working with that system. And which is not me. I haven't designed. This is where I will share one story that I've shared in
Yeah.
the book.
Yeah.
It was, like a human like myself, or someone, who was talking to a powerful human being, right? And he was, like, on a beach here. He picked up some sand and created another human, and then another human created another human. So now this person, the fool me, who's asking and being like that arrogant CEO, of created something, a life. And then this powerful being, then very humble, that he or she mentioned that, um, but who created the sand?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So I believe in that story, that whatever I'm doing, it's a combination of something was already existed. And I'm grateful for people who are creating, which I could use them in my creation, and so that we could share in a way where other people could create their life. Because every life is unique, every purpose is unique, um, every experience is unique, and everyone is a hero or heroine in their own life. Everyone, you are the main character in your life, I'm the main character in my life. But I want to be a guide in other people's lives, which who wants to share my challenges. And I love those challenges now as we write down the stories, because without challenges there is no story. Without
Yeah.
setbacks there is no there's no story there. And our life is a story, so it has to be there. The challenges, the setbacks, the failures, the losses have to be there to call it a life. Otherwise there's no life. It is a straight line. Like, it is no life, we are dead then.
Mm. Yeah. Wow. That's deep, Mukesh, and that's truly philosophical. I salute you for that. Wonderful. How do you advise a young and upcoming business owner, and if it becomes necessary, to separate their personal lives from their business lives? Or is it that they need to combine the two together and one flow into the other or complement the other? And if so, how can they do it? What would you advise them would be, from your experience, the better course to take or the better option for them to observe?
How long do we have, so that I can answer in a I could answer this in the 7 steps? I could share those as well, because I haven't shared that.
Yeah. Well, we
We
have
have time.
about 8 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. So now, specifically when you said business owners, then how they can start, how can they launch the business, so the step one is, I will just share from their perspective now, not a life
Hmm.
focus
Yeah.
on, so that it helps them. So from a business owner perspective, the very first thing, still, it's based on those 7 steps,
Yeah.
and the plan, I call it business, financial freedom, and a fulfillment plan. So first step is, now be grateful. Whether you come
Mm.
to employment, whether it's a sidekick, whether you think it's the main thing, whether you have challenges, whether you have money, no money, all those things. The very first thing, be grateful that you have an opportunity, that you want to create something. As a business owner, you are there, you want to solve someone's problem, you want to fulfill someone's life. That's where we start. That's the main reason we start. Number one, that's the grateful. Number two is align your fulfillment vision. So we need to see what is the organization's fulfillment vision is. When I say fulfillment vision means there are 10 elements, which is activities, behavior, habits, values, goals, character, purpose, principles, and I missed belief there. Um, um, and the environment. So when you look
Okay.
at these 10 elements, when you
Mm-hmm.
find the purpose is the center here, and as life has a purpose, similarly a business has a purpose. Why you starting, right? So there's a purpose behind that. And then if you align all those activities, all the nine other elements towards this purpose, if you submit everything towards purpose, like for example, I want to write a book. So now if I want to write a book, what will be my activity? What my activity will be then reading, listening other books, and doing those exercises, whiteboard scribbles. This is the activity, behavior, habits. They all need to be aligned with the business you're starting. If my business is about creating fulfillment and financial freedom, I need to be, uh, I need to learn this. How do I go to the,
Mm.
I
Yeah.
need to do those activities so that I can be here. I need
Yeah.
to, so yeah, so this aligning my activities. So there's no conflict
Mm-hmm.
between what I should do to achieve that. Right. Number three is then knowing your win. Here we go deep. Now we know your purpose. We go deep in those 30 cells I earlier mentioned, that 6 times 5, the brand, money, time, skill, health, and experience.
Yeah.
And your, even you will see, we're talking here one of the column, that business column, which has the 6 needs. Okay, what business brand do I want to become? Again, what will be my business values and purpose? what what business will look like, how people will see that. Like my business, I want to see people will say this business, go to next in accounting if you want a financial freedom and a fulfilled life. If you want to save tax, he may not be the best person. Oh, I see, it's not a punishment but is a contribution to the community.
Yeah.
And how we save tax, we skill for that, but from the outset we don't see it as a punishment. um, so that's number three, knowing what you want to be, how much money you want to be. I want to be small business community, I want to be there. So this is how that clarity you find in step three. Step four is knowing your client's pain, understanding what are their pains, what are the opportunities there, what is the negative impact on their life of those pains on their life, what are their roadblocks. With the curiosity and empathy, not judgmental.
Yeah.
We have to be curious that why do they want financial freedom?
Mm-hmm.
Why do they want fulfilled life? What does it mean? What the my fulfilled life is this, but your fulfilled life may be something else. I want to know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a step four. Step five is, after knowing your way, knowing myself, to create a solution, that create a path. This is the solution. This is we agree on. This is the blue line when you look at the GPS. We agree on this one. This is the pilot run sorted. This is the that pilot project, that product. This is the
Mm-hmm.
minimum viable product, MVP, for
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
Right. This is what the partnership look like. This is the business structure look like. Right. This is all those elements. How your organization will look like. How many people will be there. This
Yeah.
basic. This
Yeah.
Step six is then, once you agree, then with the value of integrity, innovation, resourcefulness, excellence, you deliver that, your
Mm.
promise to your client. Not just, oh, I agreed with you, and then don't show up with that. Delivery with excellence with means that I have four elements there, that within the time, within budget, within the specifications, with the fulfilling experience. I need to deliver every task, every job which has these four elements. Then only I call it excellent.
Right.
And we do it with having a step-by-step process. I call it recipe, checklist and ingredients, with the scorecards, accountability meetings. We deliver that every time. Number seven is
Mm-hmm.
achieve joy. Now you have delivered your to your client. It is the time for you to celebrate, to achieve, to
Yeah, 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 yeah,
reflect on what you learn, to take the feedback and give the feedback. When you see, look at that now, step one to steps, a complete solution. You drive what you want, you understand someone's win there, you agree with that, you deliver that, and you receive your win. It's a complete solution.
yeah. Wow, I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes. So we have been listening to 7 steps to live a fulfilled life in philosophy, in practical, in experience, and in vision with Mukesh Bajaj. And he has been a wonderful and amazing guest. We have come to the end of this episode, and we want to remind you of our 3 watchwords: health, happiness, and prosperity. And we have discovered all 3 with Mukesh on this particular episode. Thank you so much for your continued commitment and your support. And remember, always enjoy the process of life because it is valuable to you and your story matters. It counts. Until next time, this is Andy of Andy's Personal Development together with my guest, Mukesh, saying so long, Godspeed, God bless, Shalom, Namaste. Bye for now, guys.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.